It hit me when Richard Branson said, if somebody offers you an amazing opportunity, but you are not sure if you can do it, say yes, then learn how to do it later. You will get many opportunities in your life, but you need to be willing to take them. Preparation and opportunity work together. You can't expect to have many successful opportunities if you just sit around doing nothing all day. You need to get yourself out there in the real world, and opportunities will find their way to you. The harder you work and the more you sacrifice, the more frequent and rewarding the opportunities will be. So, I used to be a lazy student, but I've since evolved away from that, and now I have the mindset that you have to act quickly in life. You can't sit around doing nothing, like I said. You have to go and do things, put yourself out there, put yourself in uncomfortable situations that you don't know if you can do or you can handle. Like getting that job that seems too hard, or getting that degree that you maybe can't really do. Because I think that if you put yourself out there and you really get after it, for example, that job, maybe you have a job in mind that you want to do, but you don't know how to get there, go and do stuff in that category of job. If you want to be a manager, go and be a assistant manager first. Like you need to get out there and get experience and stuff, and eventually you will get opportunities in life that you never saw coming. If you don't do the work, it doesn't have to be a real job, it can also be something creative like painting. You want to be a painter, for example, you have to start painting. It probably will not be good in the beginning, but eventually, if you start getting better, people will notice you and you will start getting your art out there, which maybe could be your dream job. And you will never know if you made the right decision. You have to make a decision in life, and this is something that I still struggle with today. You can doubt yourself for so long without making a decision. You can weigh all the options. Is this the best? Is this the best? But you will never know for sure until you do it. And you can still switch later. For me, the big one was, am I going to study or am I going to work? I already have my bachelor, but I want to go further, maybe do a master, and I made the decision, I'm gonna do it. Why? Because I feel I'm going to regret it if I don't even try it. So I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to do my best. If it's not for me or if it's too difficult for me, I will stop. But I'll have to do it. That's the promise I made to myself. I will try things, even if I'm not sure, even if I'm doubting myself. Because why? Why am I doubting myself? There needs to be a reason for it. And I can make it the right decision. If I decide to work, I'm going to work very well. I'm going to get myself out there. If I decide to study, I'm going to work my ass off, study my ass off every single day and make it work. It's an opportunity to work. It's an opportunity to study. So you need to appreciate everything in life and make sure when you make a decision, you stand behind it with 100% effort and you do it and you make it the right decision. You're going to have to make a decision anyway. That's what I think. Eventually, you'll regret not doing anything. You can be home, sitting on your ass, doing everything but making the decision. And that's a dangerous road to go down to. Because not making a decision feels safe. It feels like you're taking yourself out of the problem, out of the equation, by not making a decision, by doing other stuff that feels more comfortable, that also can still be productive, but the decision will always linger on your mind. And that's not a good thing. Thinking about it longer is not good. There is a set period of time where if you think over it more than, for me, I've already been thinking over the question of studying or working for like 2-3 months now. So last week I made the decision, no, I'm gonna make a decision now because I still have until August, which is 2 months away, to make the decision, which is still a long time away, but I forced myself to make the decision now because I know the longer I have to think about it, the more stress it will give me and it will ruin my mind. Thinking about it is not a good thing. After a certain point, you have to make a decision. Now, hard decisions are part of a great life because you have the opportunity to make hard decisions. Some people have to work to keep their family alive. Some people don't get the opportunity to study. So this gives me perspective to think about I'm getting so many opportunities in life. So these are hard decisions for me, but they should be easy. Of course, I'm going to study as much as possible. That's what everybody tells you you should do. getting back to the quote, hard decisions are part of a great life. I think, yes, people in general, a lot of people get a great life and they just need to make decisions, which is hard. If you ask people, a lot of people are right now, at this very moment, stuck on making a decision. It can be anything from choosing which hobby they want to do to which friends they want to hang out with, because not everybody has a lot of time. If you work full time, if you study full time, sometimes even both, it can be very hard to make the right decisions, what to do with your free time, what you want to focus on, but you have to make them. Your life will get better if you make decisions. If you choose to go to football and you like it, then you can keep doing it and you make the right decision. If you don't like it, you do something else. You go to the gym, you go running, you go swimming. It's just to give an example, but not doing anything and not doing a hobby for this example is the wrong choice. Not making a choice is the third choice, because you're choosing not to choose anything, which is very important to say. Now, I was very scared to go to South Africa. Not scared, but unsure whether I would like it, whether it would be good for me, if I would learn a lot from it. And so I just made the decision. I thought at the positive side, it was so cool, it would be so cool. And on a negative, maybe it's not fun, maybe I won't learn much. But I made the decision anyway. It doesn't matter how scary it is. You have to make the decision which you think is right with the information you have and move on with your life. My opportunity for South Africa was a year in advance, so it was a year where I was uncertain. Am I even gonna get to go? Is it gonna be the right choice? But it doesn't matter. The choice had to be made, and I'm very happy that I did it. I made the right choice. Now, the same can be said for work. I'm right now also like deciding which company I want to work for. There are a couple of construction companies in Belgium. They all look very attractive. They have attractive salaries and other preferables, but you have to make a choice. Eventually, when I stop studying, whether it be next year, whether it be in 3 years, I'm gonna have to make a choice. You're never gonna know which company is gonna fit you the best. You're never gonna know which job description you're gonna like the best. Do I like being on site more? Do I like being on a desk more? I don't know. What kind of hours do I want to work? I'm not sure. But you're gonna have to choose and you're gonna have to make it the right choice. And if it doesn't fit you after a couple of months, because you have to give it some time to adapt to it, that's with everything in life. It's gonna maybe feel wrong in the beginning, then right at the end, or right in the beginning, and more it's gonna feel like the wrong choice. But you can still switch. You don't have to stand behind all your choices in life. You get to switch. You get to make wrong choices. We're all human. And I think that's a very important thing to say, that you're human. You're gonna make wrong choices. That's not even a question. That's reality. You can't always make the right choices. That's just life in general. Life is about making choices, going that way, maybe going back another way, and sometimes you're making full 80s, sometimes you're turning like 30 degrees. But I feel every choice is taking you in a direction, and it's probably taking you forward, because even if you have a negative experience with a decision you made, it can still be a positive, because now you know what you don't like or what you find negative in life. And I see that as positive. And I also think that's like a mindset thing. And this is something that I know I made a video about journaling already, but I think this is very an important quality of journaling, and you get a lot of benefits from it. Is you get to reflect on your choices. You get to see what you thought about months ago about making the choice, and now you get to reflect on what you think of it today. So I would recommend all you guys to start journaling, because it's just such an awesome free thing time to do. It only takes a couple of minutes and you get so much out of it. It gives you peace of mind, and it's great for making decisions and reflecting on those decisions. Now, the best example that I think I can give for making a decision is choosing a wife. Because, of course, some people have their high school sweethearts, but for most of us, eventually at some age, either it's 21 or 25 or 35, you're gonna choose who's gonna be your wife. And even if you want to admit it or not, if you don't think about it this way, your wife will be your most important asset in life in form of happiness. Because if you and your wife are constantly arguing, then it's not going to be a great life. So this choice is very important. And I think if you look around today, a lot of people don't consider all the variables. Of course, there's a lot of reasons why marriages go badly, and it could be that you're parting away from each other, if other things like cheating. But you have to choose your good wife, because this is also going to be, if you want children, the mother of your children. And for me, this is the most important decision in my life, because I'm a person who believes in long life love. So when I marry someone, I'm going to be with them for my entire life, and I'm going to provide for them, provide for the kids, and make sure they have a great life. But if you choose the wrong wife, then maybe you won't have a great life, and that reflects on your entire life. Your life can be miserable, and you look at people and they talk badly about their wife, you see that they're also miserable. It's not the wife's fault per se, but because they maybe chose the wrong wife, they also now have the wrong life, which is a correlation you see often these days. And I feel like if you can make the right decision on this path, which is also making a decision, you're going to be set for life. Now, you're going to have regret not making a decision, or you're going to make the wrong one and regret choosing that one. But regret is also part of life, and I would rather choose the regret of making a bad decision than having regret of not making a decision at all, because not making a decision, like I said, makes you stuck in place, and it keeps you on the same point that you were at yesterday, last week, last month, and it adds up. Time goes by fast. If you have a busy life, life goes by fast. So I make decisions daily. Do I go to work? Do I study today? Do I make a video today? Yes. Why? Because I choose to. I choose not to sit still and to do something, because not doing anything doesn't make you happy. And this is something that has become like quite popular because our generation is addicted to the phones, and I'm gonna make a separate video about this, but you need to realize that sitting on your phone, scrolling to Instagram or scrolling through whatever it is, it can even be the news. Yes, the news is something valuable. It can teach you about the world, but just scrolling on it for an hour, 2 hours a day is not useful. You need to do something with your life. So I have become, I should try to say, because I used to be somebody that didn't have an agenda. That was just like, yeah, today I'm gonna run. At this end of this week, I'm gonna go for a bike ride. But now I plan literally everything in my life. When I'm seeing my friends, when I'm working, when I'm studying, when I'm making a video, when I'm going for a run or swim, I plan everything, because today I worked and maybe today I don't really feel like going for a bike ride, but it's planned in my agenda, so I have to fucking do it. And there can be exceptions, of course, but I feel like planning is such a great tool to make sure that you do everything you want to do. Of course, there are caveats. You don't need to overdo it where every minute of your day is filled. You still need to have free time where you can relax and cool down from doing all the busy things in life. But I feel like keeping an agenda and having a structure in your life, also a very important one. And constantly reevaluating. This is something that I want to end the video with, because reevaluating is something that I directly link back to, like I said, journaling. Just at the end of the day, write down what you did, what you thought about it, and how you felt. And something that is also great to write down is something that you're grateful for. Because life is a gift, and we should all be grateful for living it. That's it for today, guys. I talk to you tomorrow.